So what is going on, guys? We're back at the Sports Domes in Hartlepool, but today we're not going to focus too much on skills. We're going to kind of focus more on dribbling. Now, there is a difference between the two. I know a lot of people get confused, but dribbling is more about keeping the ball close to your feet, not so much about doing fancy skills and stuff like that, but dribbling is more about keeping the ball nice and controlled at your feet and keeping hold of it. So today I'm going to take us through some drills, some little exercises and stuff. Connor's behind the camera, so he's going to help me as well today. But just before we get started, I am wearing another pair of Matchmakers. These are the vintage pair that your granddad or your dad might remember. They're actually a really nice pair of boot. George Best used to wear them. If you want to search him, he was probably one of the best dribblers of his time. So that's why I'm going to focus the video around that today. So back in the day, there wasn't a lot of skills. It was more about the dribbling, about keeping the ball at your feet and how many players you can beat just by dribbling. There was a few skills that we used, but they didn't really have names. They weren't really out there to use. There was a lot of big tackles that went in, so people maybe were a bit afraid of using these skills. But you see George Best here, good looking man. He's got a nice solid bit of hair on his head, and yeah, you're going to need that to be a top player like he is. But you see him just rinse this player twice over, runs in the box, does one more, bangs it home. Bob's your uncle. He makes it look easy. You're going to see some more, but he did this all day. Number 8 here, I believe for Man U. He takes someone on there, rides a tackle, keepers on the floor, no man's land, pokes it through. But he just did this all the time. I didn't see much of him, but I've seen a lot of highlights on him because I like my skills, I like my dribbles and stuff, so I watch a lot of this stuff. But he goes past like 3 or 4 players here and just pokes it in. He does it a lot. Look how old this pitch is right now. He's very young there, I'm guessing, but he's just walking past people like they're not even there. Meg's there as well. Double Megs. Goes inside both of them. I'm not sure what happened after that, but riding tackles, apparently he's one of the best at it at this time. But yeah, this is just a little snippet of how good he was. Jeez, that Megs he just did right there. And another one. It's too much. We need to stop. We need to stop. The drills that we're going to do today, they're all going to be stuff that you guys can do at home. So if you want to practice and do it as well, then, you know, go outside, get yourself out there, get a ball, and you can do it from home. If you are new to the channel, go down there to the subscribe button, click that, click the notification bell so you get notifications when I upload exactly at that point. And also leave the video a like if you enjoy these type of videos. But either way, let's get into today's video. So this is an exercise that I would use with a lot of people that I coach one-to-one. It's a nice little drill to get used to the ball and keep it nice and controlled. So for the first part, you don't actually use the ball. So for the first part, you can choose which way you want to go through it. So you can step through, just like left to right. Or you could go 1 foot in to start with, that's the easier one. Or you could do 2 foot in, 2, 2, 2. I showed this in the last video. If you didn't see that, you can check it out in the description. But once you get through here, you're going to come around, you're going to get the ball, and you're going to try and take as many touches as you can. So I'm not going to force myself straight through the cones the first time. It's just as many touches. You could change it up, you could roll it nice outside the foot, inside the foot, and then through the cones. Now that's the first drill we're going to do. So for the first one, I'm just going to go 1 foot through, and I'm only going to use the inside of my feet coming back to the ball. So you see, I'm taking a lot of touches to get used to the ball, nice and controlled, and through the cones. So once you've done that a few times, nice and controlled through the cones, you can then move on and take broader touches, but still keeping it under control. So to start with, I'm going to go left to right through the ladders. You see how my foot is following the other one. You come around, and now when we get to this bit, I'm going to go outside, inside using 1 foot only. So outside, inside, outside, inside, outside, inside. Keeping it nice and controlled using 1 foot, and keeping the other foot as a standing leg. What's important is that you do it with both feet as well. So inside, outside, inside, outside, inside, through. Very simple, but very, very useful again. So this time you're going to be on the side. You're going to do 2 feet in, just like this. But you get a nice pace, a nice rhythm, and make sure you've got your right technique. So you start just to right of the ladder, and you go 1 foot on, just like this. Get your knees nice and high. It's a nice little warm-up drill. You're going to come around here, then you're going to drag, stop, drag, stop, drag, stop, drag, stop, drag, stop, and through. It's quite basic, but very, very useful. So I know I said I wasn't going to touch too much on skills. It was more about the dribbling and keeping the ball close to you. But these are skills that you can kind of do on the ball. Not so much you would use them in a game because it's not something that you want to try and show off, but around your friends and training and stuff, give it a shot. So I'll start off with 2 moderately easy ones, and then the last one's a very, very tricky one. I'm going to have Connor try it as well, which should be fun, because for a first time doing it, it's pretty difficult. Okay, so for this first one, this one can be used in a game. I have used this in a game to stop the ball, but when the ball's at your feet, you've got it under control, you're just going to drag it across your body, step around and catch. A little bit faster. So you're dragging, stepping, catching. So you might have seen Ronaldo use this one, because he likes it a lot before he does another skill, maybe like an elastic or something. But it does stop the ball dead, and it makes the defender stand flat-footed. Dragging the ball over, stepping around, and catching with the same foot. I haven't done it with my weak foot much, but I'll give it a go. So you step in, around, and catch. So I'll break it down. The first bit, set yourself just to the left of the ball if you're using your right foot, or just to the right of the ball if you're using your left foot. Get your foot on top of the ball, drag it just in front of your standing leg. So you're dragging it around, you jump on your back leg, back around to catch the ball, and then you're in to do another skill, or take the ball away, whatever you want to do. So I've received the ball, the defender's coming in, the ball's on my right side because I'm using it with my right foot. I've dragged it across, caught it, then the defender's flat-footed, and I can do whatever I want after. Okay, so this one right here is going to be very, very useful for dribbling. This one, you do want to practice over and over again because it's very, very good for small little touches, control the ball. So what you're going to do, it's just like the L drag or the Ashley Cole, what I've used on my child before, where you do this, you drag it back and flick it inside, but you're going to do it repetitively. So you drag it back, flicking, across, drag back, flicking, across, drag back, flicking, across. So that's all on one foot, but it's getting used to having the ball around you and knowing exactly where it is. And you want to try and get it so you don't even have to look at the ball. So to start with, you want to be looking at the ball when you're doing the skill, but then you want to try and raise your head and look forward to where you don't need to look where the ball is. And you're good. So again, you want to try and practice this on both feet. So you can do one on one leg and then one on the other. So you could do it, drag back, stop, bring it, drag it back, stop, bring it, drag it back. Just like that. You can start with a walking pace that I'm doing right now. So you could start just a walking pace so you can get used to it, and then eventually you want to be able to move while it's happening, just like that. It's good to have a little coned area around as well. If you've noticed, I've done that so the ball can stay in a nice little area. So for the last one now, it's very difficult to start with. You guys might be able to do it at home, I'm not sure, but it's one I got taught when I was at a Brazilian soccer schools. It's not something you would use in a game, but it's very, very useful for getting your touch with the ball, nice and controlled, keeping it at your feet and being aware of where it is. You're going to have your standing foot just behind the ball. I know you can't see it there, but if it was on this angle, your standing foot's just going to be behind the ball, and your standing foot is going to be a pivot for the whole thing. So you guys looking there, the foot is just behind the ball. You're going to put your other foot on top of the ball like this, and you're going to drag it back across your standing foot. So this direction right here. So you're dragging it back and catching it with the same foot. So that's the first step. Then with the next step, this standing leg is going to turn on a 90-degree angle. Is that right, Connor? Connor's good at maths. And you're going to catch it like this, and you're going to try and bring it out in front of you again. When you're doing it faster motion, it works nicer. You can pivot your foot exactly where it needs to be. You drag it back across again, turn, pivot, back across again, and you get this circular motion, and it makes you very dizzy, but it looks very nice. And you can show your friends, your teacher, your hamster, and you get very, very dizzy by the end of it. Let's see if I can shoot. So you don't lose it, regardless if you're dizzy, you don't lose it. So he's going to have his right leg behind the ball because he's left-footed, left foot on the ball. So if you put your left foot and you're dragging it along like that, catch it, perfect. That's the movement right there. Drag it back and you're turning and you're dragging it out again so it's in front of you. Yeah, just like that. And then dragging it back again, catching in front of you, exactly. Dragging, catching in front of you. It's difficult, but Connor's already got 60% of it done in 2 moves. It's that good coaching, that's what it is. Connor, can you do it as fast as me? You do it as fast as me, Connor! Oh God, I'm dizzy again. So for this drill, we're going to go down to the size 3s. And this is because it's much better to practice with a smaller ball. You remember Pele? If you do remember Pele, you might remember him from FIFA, the card on there, one of the old cards. But Pele used to practice with an orange, which was like, what, that big? And I guess that's how he's so good at dribbling. So you can take it down small in a size 3 if you want. You could do the insides if you really want to, and just go left to right, just like what we were doing earlier. It's much harder, I'm concentrating much more, because obviously the smaller ball, it's lighter, it could like flick off my toe and go anywhere at once. And off we go again. So the main focus of this one really is to try and get through the corners as fast as you can, because in a game sometimes you need to dribble as quick as you can and you need to have full control of the ball even if you're going at a solid pace. Now I know in this example I'm only using the inside of my feet, and that's just because I'm trying to get through the corners as quick as I can, but it's very, very important to use all different parts of your foot. The sole's very important, the outside, the lasers, whatever you can use, little drags and things like that. It will only make you a better player and it'll get you used to using different parts of your feet in tight areas. Now to make this a little bit more difficult, you could add more cones and also put a time frame on it and try and beat that time over and over again using different parts of the feet, and just write all your stuff down. It's very important to sort of write everything down that you collect in, all the data and stuff like that, so then when you go back to it you can try and beat it. If you want to see a more advanced version of this whole dribbling thing, we don't have to use such basic techniques. These are ones that, if you guys are trying to get started and you want little dribbling techniques, these are perfect. But if you want to see more advanced ones, then I can make a video on that. If you are wanting a pair of these, they're the same company that made the last pair I did a video on the domes, which you can see in the description. They're from Matchmakers, the Stylos. These are like the vintage versions as well. But that's pretty much it for this video. If you want to see, like I say, more techniques, then we can do more videos on this stuff. We can do more advanced, maybe more beginner ones if this was too difficult. But not to worry. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like, comment down below your favourite part, other videos you want to see. Turn that notification bell on top right, and if you are new here, like I said, hit that subscribe button. But I'll see you in the next video.